But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran. Recently I got to play some Outlaw with the green skin legendary. We recently did a video for it where pistol shot can do a ton of damage after using it between the eyes. Together with the Venthyr Covenant and the Dreadblade's talent, it's actually quite a lot of damn. I did a whole recording session with the shaman, Tay. But looking back at the footage, it turns out that the Discord call was not captured at all. Neither was the game sound, but my mic was captured. So it sounds a little awkward, like you could hear my call outs, but the rest of the audio is pretty quiet. I'm rooted. I cloaked. I don't know if I should have. Probably a bad idea, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna go big damn. Blind healer. Can't lie, I'm a little mad at myself for not capturing the Discord. Me and Tay had a bit of good interaction between one another. I think it's really cool to get that interaction in the Discord call with your team partner when things really get hectic inside of Arena. So because the audio is all kinds of scuffed, let's just do it simple and the easy method. So it's time for commentary time. The first game is going to be Fire Mage, Holy Priest. My whole game opener is going to be to line up some kind of crowd control on the Priest and then hit the Mage as hard as I can. If you ever get stranded inside of a Ring of Frost like me, you can always use your Venthyr teleport ability to try to get yourself out of there. The Mage can interrupt you while you're trying to teleport though, but that means he won't have an interrupt for your healer, so you should be pretty safe afterwards. I tell my Priest I have a kidney shot ready, so he's going to try to go for a cross CC Hex, where I'll just go with full Venthyr Burst and do as much damage into the Mage as I can, and we actually get cauterized pretty quickly. During the pressure, Mage decides to go for a combust, so I press Cloak, just to not deal with the damage. Next comp is going to be against a Demon Hunter and a Disc Priest. Demon Hunter's got this really wacky combo where they go for the Night Fae Hunt into a Fel Rush. If they buff up the Fel Rush with a talent, it can do quite a lot of damage and basically one-shot you. My strategy is to try to hit the Demon Hunter before he can really start ramping up his damage while controlling the Priest. The harder I can hit him, since Demon Hunters are kind of squishy, the better. The next game is against Rogue Mage, and as an Outlaw Rogue, I feel a little outclassed by sub-rogues sometimes, but I do have great utility to prevent their opener. I have Disarm, I have Gouge, I have a Stun, and I can also go for a Blind. In these kind of compositions, you can either go on a Rogue, but they can be sometimes slippery, so then the Mage will go and peel for the Rogue to make it even easier for them to catch resets. Or you could go for the Mage, which will allow Rogue free reign to play the game, unless you can control him. So it's kind of a tough choice either way, since both of them are kind of survivable. So we kind of have to choose one target, and we decided today's target is the Mage. As I CC my healer, I disarm the Rogue to go on the Mage. That forces a Trinket out of the Rogue, so it's going to be easier to control the Rogue from here on out, especially with hexes from my healer. I decided to go for some burst onto the Mage, and since my healer can purge the shields, there's basically nothing between me and the Mage's health bar, which forces a lot of cooldowns. Afterwards, it's all about controlling the Rogue while trying to pressure the Mage. I try to keep the Rogue in combat with pistol shots, and when he got close to me, I hit him with a Gouge into a Disarm immediately, just trying to give myself a little bit of breathing room. We survived our next go, so now it's time to counteract with some damage. The next game is against an Assassination Rogue, as well as a Restoration Shaman, both of whom are Necrolord, which I'm a huge fan of. I always wanted to see Serrated Bone Spike in arenas, and this rogue definitely got a lot of use out of it. The damage it does is quite good, the bleed damage is quite good, so it has quite a good burst setup, combo point management for Assassination, as well as sustained pressure. And also the rogue played the Doomblade legendary, which I was a huge fan of. I'm still in the process of saving Soul Ash, so I can craft myself a really solid version of that legendary and try it out in both PvE as well as PvP. I think the game plan here is going to be to sit on the rogue. Normally I would want to hit the Restoration Druid, since they are kind of squishy to our Outlaw rogues, but with the Restoration Druid being as slippery as they are, sometimes it's very difficult to catch him, especially if their partner does some really good peeling for the healer. After a little bit of just sitting on the rogue and putting pressure onto the team, the healer does trinket that hex, which we throw him into a blind. Thank goodness for Outlaw Rogue short blind CD, and the game is basically over at that point. Next game is against a Windwalker and a Disc Priest. With Windwalkers, I usually like to sit on them. They put up quite a bit of pressure, but with a god roll for 5 buffs, we ended up putting quite a decent opener onto the guy from the get-go. Even though monks got this PvE bug nerf where they technically should be doing less damage, they're still very deadly in arenas. So when you see a monk popping all his cooldowns, you still should be very, very afraid. The one thing I didn't notice it until the end of the game, this monk is actually playing as a Venthyr, which I really do like players trying out different covenants, especially something that's off meta. I'm always a huge fan of Blizzard buffing the covenants that are not performing as well or are not the meta picks in order to give players that want to play something different, something new, more of an opportunity. I'm a huge fan of the legendary that I'm playing with, the Greenskin legendary, because it makes pistol shots super good, and I didn't realize how good it'll be against monks since when I'm getting parried, I can still continue to pistol shot them, which is a quite unique advantage that Outlaw does have in this setup. The next matchup is going to be an Arms Warrior as a Venthyr, as well as a Restoration Druid as I believe a Necrolord. From the get-go, I thought the game plan should be to hit the DPS while CCing the healer, which is what we usually do. But warriors are so tanky. As an Outlaw Rogue, I do mostly physical damage, so a lot of that warrior armor comes into play and just makes him a complete juggernaut to deal with. But if you can somehow get on the Rested Druid, they are much squishier. However, that can be difficult if the partner for the Rested Druid is aggressively peeling you. But after what felt like hours of beating up on the warrior and getting nowhere with it, I decided let's just have a full-blown go onto the Restoration Druid and just throw everything at the guy. Through Bear Form, Bark Skin, literally everything, I just trained him down because hitting the warrior just felt very much useless. And going Rested Druids, if you can somehow as a rogue slip away and attack them instead of the warrior, is definitely the play. And that's going to be my games that I had that were probably some of the burstiest. While Outlaw isn't a burstiest spec in the game, the mini burst you can have with you between the eyes and to a pistol shot can be quite huge, especially if that pistol shot crits. That could give you a nice setup. Then also you have the Venthyr Flagellation together with Dreadblades, which puts out a lot of shadow damage. Dreadblades as a talent is just super fun to play with, and it hasn't really been all that good so far until now. And in PvP, that's a 1.5 minute CD that can give you quite a lot of pressure. Then you also have your Killing Spree, which is quite a bit of mini burst. And all these mini bursts can be combined together into one big go, or can be separated to put pressure on the enemy over time. Overall, I'm actually a huge fan, and when it comes to playing Outlaw in patch 905, I think it's much better than what it was in the last patch. But then, of course, it's better than where it was in BFA, so already it's in a good spot. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Let me know what your thoughts about the commentary style. I don't really do these that often, but I had a bunch of clips that I want to throw together. Next time, I'll definitely have a Discord call or something. Let me know if you want to see more of this stuff. Like and subscribe, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.